All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chris Baroni with the Lakeland Aero Country Club and Homeowners Association. I hope you all have had a great holiday weekend and it continues. Hopefully a long weekend for some. And just wanted to make sure that I followed up briefly on a few things regarding HOA Country Club matters. The first thing, I had a couple questions regarding and I thought I addressed this, but I know not everyone gets to see all the videos, so I'll go over it again. The membership recall, obviously, as all of you know, that failed. The 230 affirmative votes needed in order to have a recall wasn't met, as that's clearly stipulated in our bylaws. It's in the corporate code, it's in the civil code, and David Sterling, all of that. So the requirement is not actually high, from my perspective, is, you have a affirmative of 230 people who have to vote yes on the recall. And the reason being, as I mentioned earlier, is you don't want a recall, and this is fairly common. It's not unusual at all. I'll tell you what's unusual, but anyway, you don't want less than half of the membership to undo a general election. That's really the premise for it. So it's just common sense, but it's also dictated by our bylaws, the civil code, and all that good stuff. So, all right, on to that. What's a little bit uncommon is when people try to pretend that they can ignore that. I'm not gonna, even dignify some of the silliness there, but the board remains the same as it was when the first recall and the second recall both didn't work. So the president of the association obviously is Michael Umann, the vice president is Dave DiNapoli, the treasurer is Paul Bromley, and secretary and at large are Hal and Michael Allan. So hopefully that clarifies some of the issues that you guys have out there, and we'll continue to do the same good hard work that's needed to be done to keep the HOA on the right path, and obviously finishing out the year very strong. So that lends to the other question, well, what's going on with Lordon? Without getting into too much of the specifics, one of the key things that I know that is great about this board is the ability for them to hear what many of you have been saying. And in all fairness, I know it wasn't an easy task for Lordon to kind of come in and take over after what's gone on, but they will be having a far greater reduced role within the HOA, and that role will be kind of more in line with, I think, where the board feels they can more adequately serve the HOA. So as with any type of a realignment and adjustment, it's necessary, over the course of a year that they've been doing what they're doing. So again, not an easy task for sure, but definitely some improvements that need to be made and are being made. And I think that's probably we're going to see the most improvement, I think, is on that customer service side, that ability for someone to, answer the phone, answer a question, and streamline some of the things that I think we've taken into consideration that the HOA wants and needs. So there'll still be, I think, like I said, a far more limited role for them, but ultimately we're going to take the advice of you guys and ensure that your voices were heard. And it's one of the great things about it is it's probably one of the few things, I think, just from my perspective, that it was all 5 board members. I don't think either side, for, against, whatever, I don't think any of them really, I think that was the one thing that everyone agreed on, which is that they just had fallen short of our expectations. And in fact, I think they would admit that they fell short of their own expectations. So that's just my opinion, for whatever it's worth. The New Year's coming up. I certainly want to wish everyone a very happy New Year. 2019 was a great year for the Lakeland Area Homeowners Association and Country Club, both financially and administratively, operationally. Certainly with all the unknown variables that the board and myself had to go up against, we were able to do kind of what I had said and we agreed would happen, and that's to, wade through it all. And when we do that and we come together, we're a much stronger unit. And that's what's, going to propel us to the types of victories and the improvements that I will continue to make within the association and country club itself. So couldn't have done it without you guys. Certainly very appreciative of all the support and the kind letters and the emails and phone calls. So again, I really do appreciate it, but I just wanted to give you a quick update on that. And I wish, if you guys do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Be more than happy to help out whichever way I can and make sure that things get taken care of. So thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your weekend, what's left of it, and Happy New Year. Thanks.